Well, I started running when I was in 5th grade. I just went out for the track team because, I didn't really play any sports like my whole life. And, I played at the rec league and YMCA. Basketball, I really wasn't that athletic or good. Played flag football. But I just ran track as like, I don't know, sport I feel like I could have did, especially in distance running. And I ran like the 800 in like 4 minutes then. But looking back, best decision I ever made was to do it. And I'd say I got into cross country and I ran in 6th grade. Played football in 7th grade, realized that wasn't going to work out. Then I did it in 8th grade, and I realized that I was half decent at it. Wasn't really good, wasn't really bad. And yeah, that's how I got into it. Uh, I mean, hasn't been like a straight linear path like to getting better, but I wouldn't have traded for anything the path I've been on. It's really formed me into a good person. It's just running is just something that everybody should take up. It can better you in so many ways, just not physically. All right, in high school, really didn't have that much of high expectations for myself, considering that I only ran for like really 1 year. I really wasn't that good. I would say I was mid 19s my first race, and I got down right below 19 by the end of the season. That was a pretty solid start to a high school career. Freshman year, thought I was gonna have a good track season, make some big jumps, but after like IT band issues and being missing some time, I really didn't make any progress. And I think like mentally that bled into sophomore season, and that's why I didn't really progress any sophomore season. I was running about mid 19 to 22 minutes, like anywhere in between there. I really wasn't doing well. Really needed to find who I was and why I was running. And once I did that, I would say I gained so much more progress. Ran mid 18s this year. Feel like I could have broke 18 if I had the right opportunities, the right setting. And the most recent time trial last week, I ran 5 minutes. Definitely felt like I could have broke 5, but I think that definitely represents me as a runner. That time does more than the 5K times. And I'm still just learning my way around high school running, especially considering because of COVID-19, I didn't get to race. And like, I feel like I'm really younger, like running than I am at my age and my experience. My 5K BR is 18:27. It's all right. I mean, nothing to brag home about or anything. I say my goal is going to track season is to run 2:0 something in the 800, break 2:10. Run 4:40 something in the mile and run like 10:40 in the 2 mile. Hopefully race at sectionals in the 2 mile. That's really my main goal is to race at sectional 2 mile. Try to get top 3, but if that happens, I'll be ecstatic and I go to regionals. I'm really happy where our track team's heading, and the aspect that I mean, if everything goes right and everybody keeps putting in the work and keeps progressing, I think our track team could possibly win state this year.
I got into running all the way back in, I'd say, 8th grade. I played all types of sports. I started out basketball and played all the way up. Started when I was about 5 years old, played all the way up until 8th grade. Started football in 7th grade and went into 8th grade. And Ethan, my 8th grade year, he said, "Hey man, why don't you come run this cross country meet?" And I was like, I never ran distance, could barely even like finish the gym mile without walking. And I decided to just go, and I ended up running in like some Damian Lillard basketball shoes and a t-shirt. And that was my first ever experience. It was a 3K, and I really didn't think too much about it. Never thought I would ever run cross country again or even run distance. But coming into high school freshman year, 9th grade, I came in playing football. Thought I was gonna have somewhat successful season going, and I ended up getting injured during summer training. So just with parents trying to peer pressure and say, you need to quit football, too many injuries, I ended up quitting. But I was like, I can't just sit around and not do anything. So I reached out to my friend Ethan again, and he was like, "Hey man, just come run cross country. Like the atmosphere is amazing, and I would like it a lot." So that's when I first got my little glimpse of running and kind of just fell in love with it from there, and that's where we are now. I'll say the journey of running has been phenomenal. I mean, I started out running a 20-minute 5K, and from there, I kind of felt like I just had that drive and mentality that I was gonna get better no matter what. And I feel like year after year, I held true to that and went from a 20-minute 5K to a 17:30 sophomore year, and then dropping down below 17s this year. And then even in track, like high accolades, starting out freshman year, going 204 in the 800, and yeah, just so on. So I would say running so far has been really great for me. My 5K PR as of now is 16:41. I not really satisfied with that time. I feel like this track season, this cross country season, didn't go as how I wanted it to. I kind of peaked early on and just went downhill from there, running like low 17s, never really got under 17 again. But goals going into track season, for the 800, I'd like to run a time of 156. For the 1600 meter, I would like to get down to high 420s. And for the 400, I'd like to run a 50 flat and 51 and split like a 50. From there, I would like to make it to state in the open 8 and hopefully medal. And then for the 4x4, plan on making it to state, medal. And then I'm pretty sure with the hard work and dedication that our track team has, that we could possibly go to state and be one of the best teams there, if not the best team there, and just ready to put it all in, put the words into action and get rolling.
I got into running. Two of my friends in 8th grade were pressuring me day in and day out to go run. And one of those friends was Ethan Carter, and he's involved with this channel. And also one of my teachers was also pressuring me, and I decided to give in to the pressure, and I was like, why not give it a try? And that was the beginning of one of the best things in my life. Well, it started off as me just running to run. I never really thought much about it. I just ran. And my entire 8th grade year, it was just running. And then we came into freshman year, and that hit hard. It was like a truck just hitting me head on. It was a lot of work. It was more structured, and I actually had to focus a little bit more. But that whole cross country season, it wasn't too great. It was really just something new. And I didn't really see any results until track season of my freshman year. And that was a pretty good season, considering that I really wasn't fully dedicated to running. I was still just running to run. And really that track season opened up my eyes to, a little bit of the potential I had as a runner. And then came summer of the summer leading into sophomore year, and I actually went to practice that summer, and I started in the middle of those practices, and it did help quite a bit, and it kind of prepped me for that cross country season. Although I didn't take that entire summer, it did help considerably. But I still wasn't as consistent as I should have been. And I PR'd my first 2 races my sophomore cross country season. and then I didn't PR again, and I was just putting out bad times. And after that season, it left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. And then we were gonna go into track season. We went to winter practices, and I was really excited for my sophomore track season. But then it got canceled because of COVID, and that really took a mental toll on me. And I didn't practice for quite some time. It was about 2 months or so. And yeah, I wasn't practicing, and I was just out of it. And then we started summer practices, and that really helped a lot, because I started in the beginning and I went all the way through, and that really built the consistency for me. And we were practicing all summer, and we went into cross country season, which was this past season, and it was a pretty good season. It was a blessing, and it really showcased that, you know, hard work was still a big deal. And, you know, the hard work did help a lot, and I was consistent that entire season. It was just a really good season, and it left me content, but I'm not necessarily satisfied. And yeah. My 5K PR is 18:26, and you know, I was content with that PR. I'm not satisfied though, and my goals going into the track season is to just do the best I can. And really, I want to PR in as many events as I can, and I want to actually be in varsity for at least one event. But who knows how that'll go, and it's all under God's will, and it's just really been a blessing to have run and to have come this far.